you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
Giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K, 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 S-I-C-K.
All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
Giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K, 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 S-I-C-K.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. Bruins Vibes.
Bruins win the Stanley Cup.
Going into the corner. But, oh, there goes a
you kidding me?
That is an
The sickest Boston Bruins podcast.
Sends it in, and it's Pasternak scores! Series winner for David Pasternak and the Bruins!
It's gonna be sick.
Hey, it's the Bruins Vibes podcast on the Sick Podcast Network. Bruins over the Vegas Knights over the Bruins last night, 6-5.
Wishful thinking there?
With wishful thinking there. It was a late night affair. It ended just before 1 a.m. in the East. That's why we are coming to you live this morning at 11 a.m. I'm your guy, Brendan Sennott. With me always is the scribe, the guru, the man, the myth, the man to be with, Jimmy Murphy. What up, Murph, doggy dog?
What's going on, buddy? You know, it's funny. Every time you do your intro there and you say, hey, I think we're watching Fat Albert.
Yeah, that's crossing my mind, but,
Hey.
the hey has taken on an identity of its own. My son's friends, I can't go anywhere now without seeing them, and they don't say hello to me. They say, hey. So
There we go.
hey,
Are they aware of that
you gotta
show?
keep people happy.
Have they ever watched that show? I imagine not, huh? Way before their
No,
time.
a little before their time. Well, hey, that was before Bill Cosby got canceled too.
Oh, that's right. I forgot he was in that. That's right.
In it, he was him.
I don't know. It was him. Yeah, I forgot it was him. Jeez. He literally has been canceled. That because when it rang in my head, I did not see him.
Right. Yep. All the voices, all the characters, all the writing.
Well, he got what he deserves. So anyhow, on to
there we
hockey.
go. Anyways, off to bad pop culture references. So, Knights 6-5 over the Bruins. Wild game. If you stayed up like us, God help you. But
I'm not gonna lie. I didn't stay up, Brendan. I'm not lying. I
you
actually
watched the replay.
I worked. Well, I didn't do what do they call that thing on Nesson when they
Bruins in
truncate?
2.
Yeah, so I didn't do that. I tape it on Fubo and I watched the whole game this morning. But what happened was last night, I just as you know, I've had a pretty draining week and it's catching up to me. So I was like, you know what? I watched some of the 7:00 games and I said, I'm better off. It's like 10 o'clock. I said, I can go to bed, get a good 9 hours sleep. I got up at 7. Watched
I'm
the
out of
game,
here. Forget you, man. That's ridiculous.
took notes. Yeah, but now it's even fresher in my head. So there you go.
Fair. Oh, that's true. Yeah.
And you know what's fresh in my head right now, Brendan,
What's that,
is
sir?
and I love the kid, and I by no means think he was the main issue last night. And I think he needs to stay on the team. But when Lindholm comes back, there are people saying, "Oh, what are we going to do with Jordan Harris when Lindholm comes back? He has to stay in." No. You keep rotating between Jokiharju and Harris because what I saw last night was what Montreal saw a lot of, or what Laval saw a lot of with Jordan Harris, and that is he has a knack to pinch when he shouldn't pinch. He has a knack to make, let's for all intents and purposes say, Zadorov mistakes with the puck.
There was one last night.
There was a lot last night, and he got away with something too. So he was on the ice for that. He was on the ice. What was the goal he pinched on him? I think it was the first goal. Yeah, the first Vegas one. It was the second one. He pinched, and then they went back the other way. The Dorofeyev went back the other way with the breakaway, right? So he's on the ice for that, -1. Then he was on the ice, I think, for the fourth goal as well, in front. When McAvoy went in to hit the guy behind, but the guy got the puck out in front, and they buried it. He was right there. He didn't pick up his man. So he should have been a -2 when I looked at it. So he got away with one there, but he had a rough game. And I thought in general, Brendan, like I came away from that game mixed. I don't know about you.
Agreed. Well, first of all, let's quote a little Dickens. It was a tale of two Swaymans. He was either really good or really bad. It was like, 2 years ago Swayman at times and last year Swayman at times. It was really odd. It was just a nutty game. I don't know if look, clearly, as we talked about and you teased me, and you're up 1-0 in our wagers, your yearly wagers, by the way. So congrats. The Vegas flu definitely set in the last 5 minutes of the game. The Bruins looked tired at the end. They couldn't really get anything going to get it into the end, the opposing zone. They couldn't even pull the goalie, and then obviously Geeky commits that penalty there at the end. But I mean, they're playing above their weight class, in this game, and they hung. So that should make you feel good. But yeah, what a nutty game. It was all over the place. There's a bevy of topics that we can hit on. I mean, one's going to be a dead horse topic, but yeah, overall, definitely a fun game. Certainly wasn't boring, but 10 different Bruins registered points, but the Knights were just too much skill, too much talent on that team.
Well, I think, look, I don't know. I don't think it was Vegas flu. I think that's why they went out there early to get that out of their system. And these guys are in such good shape that they could do an all-nighter and still probably play 2 periods. Like, that's how insanely healthy and in shape and durable these guys are. I think what happened there is just reality setting. I mean, they don't have the team. They don't have the team speed and the skill to engage in those type of games on a regular basis. So on these seesaw back and forth games and run and gun type games. And I think that's what happened in the end. And Vegas tightened up a bit too. I think Vegas, to their demise, they weren't too stingy on the defense either. They were pretty sloppy as well. So let's not forget that. But I will say, you mentioned there they hung with them. You mentioned the number of Bruins that were on the score sheet there. I thought one thing that stood out, and I haven't seen it reading the post-game recaps or looking at social media or even listening to the announcers during the game, with the exception of Pasternak, everyone that scored was bottom six. It was secondary scoring. That's great. You don't want your top scorers to be shut out or not, have a bad night, but they're going to have bad nights, right? And I think
Right.
one of the concerns we both had coming into the season, we said it on our first episode, is where is the secondary scoring going to come when the other team is able to just shut down the Bruins top scorers or the Bruins offensive defense? Like, where are they getting that out of the bottom six or the bottom third pairing of the defense? How is that going to work? And now, look, it's one game, it's early in the season, but we're seeing some of these guys like an Isimon or Jeannot or Costello, guys like that are chipping in offensively, and that's a great sign right now for the Bruins.
Agreed. Wherever Don Sweeney is right now, whether he's out in Vegas, and I think he probably is. It sounded like everybody was going. If it's 8:11 in the morning, I gather he's probably sitting somewhere like Mr. Burns while he's having his coffee doing this, because the Tanner Jeannot signing's looking pretty solid after, what is it, 5 games? I mean, he
Yeah.
already has 2 goals. And what did he have, 10 all of last year? So kudos so far. Hopefully it keeps going, but I've been impressed with him. Nobody messes with him on the ice, which is, I mean, I know they haven't played really any of the heavyweights yet, like Rempe or any of those guys, but
Mhm.
he definitely does have a presence. And when he's around the scrums, you can tell other guys shy away.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's so far so good with those guys. I mean, look, I think, so we say that not to just switch to a negative right away. I think the question right now might be, besides Pasternak, who in the top 6 is really stepping up? I mean, Pavel Zacha's had a good season so far, but I thought he had a so-so game last night. Like, just I didn't see him.
Wasn't great.
Yeah, well, I thought in the first few games he was very strategic in terms of positioning. But this was like I said, this was a seesaw game. Everybody was all over the place. So we'll let this one fly. If that continues in the next 2 games, in Colorado tomorrow and then Utah on Sunday, then maybe you have something to worry about. But I just think, look, we can sit there and we can be mad they lost, and there's a lot to criticize there. And like I said, I've had a crummy week, so I thought I was going to come into this and just start ripping them. But I actually came away from that game with more positives than negatives.
I would actually kind of agree with that. Like you said, the bottom 6. But so the 2 areas, we'll get into a couple of different topics, but the 2 areas I want to hit on, the one will be, Captain Obvious, and I'm probably going to hit it on it another 75 times the rest of the season.
Mm.
But let's talk about
The power
Viktor
play.
Arvidsson.
Oh, okay.
It's not looking good. It's kind of looking like the major league thing, and I know they didn't have him, but when the old general managers are sitting around and they wish we had him 2 years ago. We did. 4 years ago then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Daniel Arvidsson of 4 years ago, Viktor Arvidsson 4 years ago would have probably been pretty nice.
Yeah.
Now it's to me, it just doesn't seem like it's there. And I think that's why you're going to see Middlestat and Zaka struggle now because those guys are more, they like to defer more, they like to give up the puck, and they need a finisher on that line, and there's just not one right now.
Well, he's missing a level of speed there. I think he's lost a bit there when it comes to speed and keeping up with the play. And you're right. I've noticed a lot last night. And we talked about the Bruins aren't made for a run and gun team. Well, he's not made for that. I noticed a lot of times last night where, like you said, Zaka and Middlestat were up the ice and he's catching up. And then there was a goal. I think it was the third goal where he was supposed to be the forward back. Oh, it was the one I referenced earlier.
Yes.
The one, the breakaway. Yeah. Like he should have been back. He was chasing him down as the guy broke in. Like that's his guy. And yeah, I'm with you. Like look, I'll put it this way. I remember when the Oilers picked him up last summer remember when the Oilers, for some unknown reason, didn't match the offer sheets on Holloway and Broberg to St. Louis?
Yes. St. Louis.
Okay. Yeah. Which we can all agree was a colossal mistake by the Oilers management at the time. And then they figured that Viktor Arvidsson, and who was the other guy they signed off free agency? It's another forward. I think he's gone as well. I don't know. But they signed two mid-grade forwards, average forwards they brought in free agency. And I remember Pierre
Wasn't Corey Perry, was it?
No, he was a great pickup. It was
That's all right. It'll come to you.
Yeah, it will come to me. But anyhow, I remember that, like Pierre Maguire literally saying that day, like they just got worse. They should have kept those young guys, which was proven to be correct, and they got worse by bringing those guys in. Those guys were just redundant, right? Like, and I think that's the case with the Bruins, where I think the Bruins, and we've harped on this a lot in the early season. The Bruins have a lot of middle six guys, and I was just like, what's the point of Arvidsson? Like, I don't get it.
You said that when it happened.
That was Jeff Skinner. Thank you, Ethan Russell.
There he is.
He's the best. He knows he's got it. Yes, it was Jeff Skinner, who, by the way, he broke that long-standing playoff jinx when they made it last year. Remember, he hadn't been on.
He ended that. Yeah. Who's the current leader now in the clubhouse? Now that he got
I don't know. We'll have to look that up. Maybe Ethan will know. Shane put it in the studio too. Jeff Skinner. That was it. So when Skinner and Arvidsson came in, I remember Pierre saying, "That's just redundant." Yeah, because they, like the Oilers, basically, when you looked at it before last season, I'm saying had, McDavid and Draisaitl, and then a bunch of mid six guys, right? That's the Bruins this year. Well, they don't have a McDavid and Draisaitl. They've got Pasternak, and then a lot of middle six guys. So I just didn't get the Arvidsson thing. I wonder how long that's going to last before he at least watches a couple games up top. He's just not doing it for me. I'm with you.
Yeah, I think we talked about. I think I asked you point blank on free agency day as you were, working the phones, and I said, knowing what they were thinking, and then obviously we found out later that Cam Neely they took some shots at some of the bigger fish in free agency.
So he claims.
Mm-hmm. Would Seabass lie to you? But I asked you point blank, can this guy pop 20 to 25 goals? And I think you said, are you out of your mind? So
15, I'd be happy with, honestly, if he gets 15.
Well, and here's the thing, look, and I'm not trying to, stoke the flames of, the prospect huggers and get this guy up and get that guy up. But, if he's, and I haven't seen what he's done since the hat trick, but like if Lysell keeps popping off, at that point, you need a sniper on that line. What the hell do you have to lose? Just call him up, put him on that line. Two veterans that can get him the puck. Maybe he pops a few and maybe you catch lightning in a bottle and this guy finally blossoms into what we're all hoping he can become. I wouldn't do Patra right now. And then, I mean, I guess you could do, Blumage or Steves, but, been there, done that kind of thing, right? Throughout, with other teams. So, yeah, I agree. And I wonder if Sturm will be, we'll give him the hook for Saturday or Sunday. Arvidsson, that is.
Yeah, maybe they put somebody in. I mean, but like, I'm with you. Like, I'm more for those players to stay down in Providence because I think they're developing, they're building more confidence. But But yeah, if Lysell keeps lighting it up, you bring him up. But the other thing is with Arvidsson, like that acquisition to me was more, and I don't have any proof of this. This is just my theory. This is my opinion. So don't say that I'm reporting this, please, anyone. My theory is that signing and a couple of the other ones, like a lot of these bottom 6 signings we saw, were an effort to make the Bruins remain competitive enough to stay in the mix at the end of the season and be in the mix for a wild card spot. And it's like you talk and you say, I hate that they just always want to be mid. They always want to just stay in the middle there. So Jeremy Jacobs can get his profit from the playoff gate in the first round there. And that, to me, that's what that reeks of, because if you were really trying to move towards the future, why would you go out and get a mid-grade veteran player like that instead of just letting a young kid come into camp and earn his spot? Because let's face it, once they got Arvidsson, there was no way he wasn't making the team. His spot was cemented. They're not going to trade for the guy and then be like, all right, no, we're sending you down through waivers. They weren't going to do that. So already there goes a spot that a young kid could have come in and seized in camp. So that's what I wonder. Like, if they don't make the playoffs this year, they might have to change their philosophy and just be like, all right, we're not going out and getting all those mid-grade guys. We're just going to stay as is. And we're going to let these young kids come in and try and seize the spots. Then if they don't, then maybe you go claim somebody off waivers in September, right? Or you make a minor deal to get that middle 6 forward in September, right? Like, I just think they didn't give enough chances to the young guys. Like, I'm with you. I don't think now's the time to bring them up, because then you're letting Arvidsson sit. You're like, that's a contract just sitting on the bench, and then he has to clear
$4 million cap hit.
Yeah, so like they're kind of stuck with him, right? He's for all, I mean, they're stuck with him. And so look, hindsight's 2020. They can't go back now, but I'm just saying I didn't like the move for that reason. Like, it was preventing a young kid from seizing a spot.
Agreed. All right, so here's my other topic, and much like you saying, don't quote me that I'm reporting this. Here's that portion of the program where, like, on those like news shows where like your signature like appears virtually.
An NBA?
Yes. So this is me getting up on my soapbox. This is what, game number 5, correct? Please, for the love of God,
I knew this.
take Charlie McAvoy off power play 1. I can't anymore. I just can't do it. It led to that shorthanded goal. He was terrible again. Stop it. I can't do it. I can't. Sorry.
You know who you remind me of just now? Is one of your new colleagues, Tony Marinaro, who does a great job on the Sick Podcast Network. Of course, does awesome Canadians post games there, and that was Tony Marinaro-esque passion there. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, if you want stuff that gets me fired up, if this would help, if you listeners want to hear me get fired up, because it just doesn't work, and clearly, as you've called, it's coming from on high to keep him out there, because they keep running him out there. Hopefully, if Lindholm plays Saturday, they switch it up, because what blew my mind.
Let's wait. Let's wait and see what happens with that. If Lindholm comes back and he's there for a month, and a month from now we're sitting here and they're still putting McAvoy out there and the power play is still struggling, save that vent. But I want to, like, I don't think it's fair to Steve Spott yet to criticize him or criticize anyone yet.
I'm not ready to criticize him.
Yeah, I just think that what else do they have without Hampus Lindholm there? Like, who are they going to run the power play right now without Hampus Lindholm in the lineup?
Lohrei was fine.
No. Lohrei is not fine. He'll cough that puck up like it's a hot potato, man. Come on.
I said it the other night.
And then the play's going back.
Yoki Haru wasn't that bad when he came out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe try a forward up there.
Well, because here's the funny thing, right? The end of the game when they were trying to get the goalie pulled and they took the penalty, okay? Brick even made a comment. They put Pasta back out with the second unit guys, and then that was the time that they got the best looks, because Middlestad was out there. Yoki Haru was out there, and I think Zadorov actually. Mm-hmm. And he got a goal. Now, granted, it was cheap, but it probably hit off Veal, and so he got another, that helped his plus minus as well. But what the hell? I mean, he's got the cannon.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is like if Zadorov and Lowry didn't have such a high turnover rate and
Yeah.
didn't kind of make some cement head plays all the time, like they would be perfect. I'm with you. I mean, he's got that cannon. I think Lowry can work it. Like they've got the offensive set that you
Right,
need,
but then to recover
but
quickly.
it's just like
Yeah.
like, it just scares me too much because it's like they're just kind of walking that line there, and the other teams know they scout these guys. They know that they're prone to turnovers, so they're gonna come up and press it. So I just think those aren't options right now. Like they're limited in options. So let's see what happens when Hampus comes back. I wonder. I mean, did they like? I didn't notice them say much out of updates yesterday from Game Day Skate in terms of whether he'll play tomorrow or Sunday. Brendan, did you hear anything?
Judd said that Sturm said he was close, that he did skate
But yeah,
pregame.
I heard that too. But there was no
Eh,
definitive.
no definitive of when, but he's on the trip, so you figured,
Well, yeah,
maybe he plays Saturday and then, doesn't Sunday and then plays Tuesday against Brad Marchand and the Panthers.
I would put him in Sunday, and then you
Yeah, that
don't
makes
have to
sense.
skip a game after that. Let him get because I don't like to bring him in and then bring him out. Put him in Sunday, then he gets a day off Monday, travel day. And then he keeps going on from there. That's what I would do, but we'll see.
Yeah. By the way,
Speaking
and I
of,
know they just locked him up last week. How unreal is Jack Eichel?
he's great. He's a great player, man.
Great job, Sabres. Yeah, we don't want you to have surgery.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
crazy.
Sabres. They could be saying bye to more stars. We can get into that later, but
So let's do a fun, quick exercise. So
okay.
name me. Is Eichel in your top 5 players in the NHL? And just off the top of your head, throw them at me
Right at this second or in general?
in general.
No, not top 5 in general. At this
Top 10,
second,
did you
yes.
say?
Huh?
Top 10?
Top 10. Yeah. Yeah, he's in that vicinity. Maybe he
Okay.
falls in and falls out a little, but yeah, I mean, he's an elite star. He's a number 1 center. Something the Bruins don't have, you
What's
know?
that like?
He's an amazing number 1 center. He really is. And now you put Mitch Marner next to him, and it's like lights out. And man, that Dorofeyev guy, if I'm pronouncing his name right, I apologize if not. But dude, whew,
Oh yeah,
he is
that was what I was
scary.
gonna say.
He is scary good, man.
I think Dorofeyev might be Russian for Jacobs because that dude owns the Bruins.
Well put. He really does, man.
Had he last year, and I think he had 1 in the other game, and
Yeah,
now 2 snipes last night.
yeah. So, and then like
Well, he had 1 and 1.
I was surprised at that game too. Like again on the Vegas side too, because I don't want them to be exempt from any blame from lack of defense. Like Bruce Cassidy must be running them wild in practice today, doing like Herb Brooks style sprints in practice because their defense was atrocious last night. I'm not talking just the defenseman. I'm talking the whole team. They thought they were going to come out and walk all over the Bruins. That was pretty clear. And to their credit, they finally tightened up when it counted at the end. But like, good on the Bruins to seize the opportunity there because you're not going to get many nights like that where you're able to just have a pond hockey game with the Vegas Golden Knights. It's just not going to happen.
Right, because defense is Butch's bag. It's his
Yeah, and
forte.
they're heavy too, right? Those are heavy guys. They're built like the 2019 St. Louis Blues.
Oh,
And
God.
you didn't see many games like that with that team. That's how that roster's modeled. So
Jimmy, why do you have to upset our listeners and say things like that are toxic? Yeah, Vegas, but now, as you predicted, and it came to fruition. Carter Hart did sign with Vegas,
mhm.
and in my opinion, and again, I know it's early, he better work out because even though I picked him to win the cup, and I know,
You picked Vegas to win a cup? Yeah.
yes, Kira Schmidt, I know he's the backup, but Aiden Hill has not been good so far.
Well, he's hurt.
Good goaltending could derail this team in the playoffs.
Well, I mean, if Aiden, I don't even know what Aiden Hill's timetable is on his injury, but that's a big people underestimate him, man. The guy did win a cup. Can we give the guy credit for that? I know, like it's like he's like another Stuart Skinner, where like, hey, he's not the best goalie, but he did win a
Darcy
cup.
Kemper.
Yeah, exactly, same thing. What is the timetable on that for him?
right, so then we'll pivot to another topic.
They don't have, but you know what? We got to get. I know that Shane's got to get out of here early, so we don't have much time left. So anything else, Bruins, you want to bring up, or I think we should go to the Q&A.
Just that I know that the word around the campfire, and I'd like to get your thoughts about it, is that if he becomes available, and people seem to be fantasizing about it, but he is due to be an unrestricted free agent. He's probably the number one now. Martin Nashis.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts?
No,
Obviously,
no chance that the Bruins can get him in a trade. But as you pointed out off air to me, and you're exactly right. What about free agency? That I don't know. I'm not in Martin Necas's head, but I do got to think that now that he's had a taste, let's say he gets the free agency, so now he's got a season and a quarter under his belt of earning a paycheck in a no tax state. And to all of you who say that doesn't matter, you're nuts. It does. It's proven. Players say it. It matters. It's not the end all be all, but it is a factor, especially in free agency.
Jimmy Murphy, CPA.
So my question is, let's be Martin Necas right now. And I just looked at it and go, wow, I'm actually getting pretty much all of my check. Considering where I came from when I was in Carolina, this is great. So maybe he doesn't want to stay in Vegas for whatever reason. I have no idea why he wouldn't, but maybe he doesn't want to stay there. Then he's going to start looking at the other no tax states, of which Massachusetts is far from being no tax. That's why we call it Taxachusetts. So that is a major thing working against the Bruins. For them to get him in free agency, they would have to obviously present to him, like, this is our game plan for next year. We feel we can compete for the cup. We feel you're the final piece. And, in light of what you're going to pay in taxes, we'll give you a ton of bonuses here because you can't defer anything anymore. That's gone in the new CBA. But we'll compensate it for bonuses. And, by the way, we know Ernie Bach pretty well down at Ernie Bach Car Dealership. We'll get you some sweet cars with him and a nice deal, sponsorship deal with him. That's how you do it. That's the only way teams in the Bruins shoes are going to be doing it. But even if the Bruins can do all that, are the Bruins really still going to be a contender next year? Like, that's the big question. So I think that's a TBD question, but I don't see there's any way that the Bruins can acquire him in a trade for the sole fact that the Colorado Avalanche traded him, right, for
Mikko Rantanen.
Mikko Rantanen. Yep. So do you think the Colorado Avalanche are going to turn around and trade him for a way lesser package, which is what the Bruins can do? The Bruins aren't trading Pastrnak. Other than that, who does Colorado want? They don't want McAvoy. Their defense is fine. They need more centers, to be honest, and that's something the Bruins clearly don't have. So in terms of the trade market for Martin Necas and making a deal with the Colorado Avalanche, I don't consider the Bruins to be in that. The free agency, I'm not ruling out, but just for now, the trade market, they're not going to be in the running for that.
Quick sidebar, and I think the listeners would appreciate you doing this, Jimmy, as connected as you are. So you made a great point about Colorado needing centers.
Mm-hmm.
Why did they let Charlie Coyle walk?
That was an interesting one. I don't know. I don't have an answer. I honestly don't have an answer. I didn't get that at all.
I know they signed Nelson for the big ticket. We talked about that. It was probably
I think that was it. They basically chose between him and Coyle, and they chose Nelson. And they just felt maybe they have younger guys that can be that depth guy that Coyle would have been, but I would have kept Coyle. I thought it was a really good fit. Like, I know they choked in the playoffs, but at the same time, like, I felt like, okay, now give him a season at least. Just sign him to a year deal, right? Like, give him 1 year and see how it works out. So I don't know. I don't have the answer for that. I apologize.
No worries. Maybe get back to us on that. Do some digging. Do what you do, my friend. All right, yeah. You want to get to the listener questions here before we take a look at the weekend ahead?
Yep, I do. And I want to give a shout to my friends over in Ireland. You see this right here, Brendan? The Friendship 4. I go over there now with the eye test. I know some of them are watching right now. Got some Bruins fans over there in Belfast, so hello to them.
Love it.
All right, let's rock. Ethan.
There's our guy. Big Ethan. This might be crazy, but do you think they should have tried to sign Roslovic, especially since he's still somewhat young? Feel like he would bring more to that RW2 spot. I mean, I was thinking about it. I never really said anything. What do you think, Jimmy?
Well, I know that there was a lot. It was either, from what I heard, it came down to either Toronto or Edmonton. And the reason Toronto, he wanted to go to Toronto actually over Edmonton, because as Pierre pointed out on the eye test, him and Austin Matthews have a long-standing relationship, played with each other in the U.S. National Development Program. So there's some chemistry there, and he wanted to go there and play with him. But Craig Berube kind of looked at him and said, "You're not the two-way guy I need on this team." Like, Berube's trying to not to bring that team from 2019 up again, but Berube is trying to build the Maple Leafs that way right now. They're trying to model that philosophy, right? Big, heavy two-way guys. Roslovic's not that. So that's why he ended up in Edmonton, because I think he's a great offensive player, but he's kind of a floater.
Sure.
So in terms of him fitting in with the Bruins, Ethan, I would have done it just because they do need scoring. But my question is, would he have fit in with what Sturm's trying to do and his game plan and his two-way emphasis? I don't know if Roslovic fits in there.
We talked about that in the season preview show, though. It's like, and I love that the Bruins always have these structures in place, but what's the crime in having one guy? I think we mentioned Cole Caulfield, and like you said, sick goal last night. But, like you said, a guy who's a floater, who's just, tiptoeing out to the blue line and streaking.
I agree, Brendan. I think the thing is I don't think the Bruins think they have enough good defensive players to compensate for the floater.
I would agree with that.
So for when he screws up, who's backing him up? You know what I mean?
Right.
Plus,
Right.
The other thing too, remember this was a free agent signing, as you and I were discussing off the air. Like, I know fans like to say, why didn't my team get this guy? And why didn't they trade for that guy? When you think of this and you say, I want my team to get that guy, you need to put yourself then in terms of, if he's a free agent, pretend you're the player and you're looking at prospective teams to sign with, and you want to go to a team that contends, right? You want to go to a team that has a chance at the Stanley Cup, most likely. Are the Bruins contending for the Stanley Cup? No. Okay, now, if it had been a trade situation, put yourself in the opposing GM's shoes. What does that roster have that I need? Is there something of equal caliber or better that I can get back for, say, we were talking about Martin Necas? Is there something for equal caliber or better that I can get back on the Bruins roster? Don't always think that, your team can just go out and it's like, it's the Bruins GM's fault or it's the Bruins' fault. It's not always their fault. Like, they don't control what the player wants or what that other team wants. You got to remember, there's got to be a match. They can't just put a gun on the GM's head and say, you're trading this guy to me. So just remember that when you come up with these ideas. That's all.
But to kind of counteract that, I do think that as we sit here on October 17th, yeah, really, if you want to improve your club, you're looking at Pasta, Swayman, Lindholm, McAvoy, right?
Yeah.
But, I think around deadline time, some of those glue guys like Eisenmont and Kastelik are going to have some value. If you
Well, it depends where they are in their contract, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Depends how much term they have left. All right.
All right, let's hit another one there, Shane. Would you try Harris on the power play? Seems to get it offensively. Yes, in Providence, I would.
That's Ethan, by the way, that says that.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Ethan. Yeah, in Providence. I try him on Providence top play.
I would have said yes, right, before last night, but now I'm not too comfortable with the way he handles the puck and his decision making. So as of now, Ethan, no. But I still think they keep him in the lineup. I think the kid's got a lot of potential. He hustles. I'll give you that. He really hustles.
Heart. Yes, absolutely. A lot of heart.
Yep.
Does Corpy go against the Avs?
You gotta say he's asking a question, bud.
Oh, sorry, that's Harry.
That's okay.
Harry mossed away. Does Corpy go against the Avs? I think so.
Yep.
We're on the rotation.
Yeah.
And then back to Swayman.
If he keeps doing it the way he's doing, he's done a rotation so far, so I don't see why not. We'll see.
Yes, sir. Back to Ethan again. Jimmy, is Pierre going to the Checkers versus Wild game tonight? I'm in Charlotte on a work trip, and I'm going to the game tonight.
Yeah, so as some of the people who watch the eye tests know, Pierre's son is on the roster of the Iowa Wild, who's the AHL affiliate of the Minnesota Wild, and they are playing in Charlotte. Pierre will be there. We're not sure yet. I haven't seen reports yet from the morning skate. We're not sure yet if Ryan, his son, will be making his AHL debut in this game. But yeah, Pierre will be there. Ethan, just reach out to me on Twitter. Just DM me or something. We'll talk.
Nice.
We got any more? That's it. That's all, folks. Good stuff. Appreciate it. And shout out to Mark, by the way.
Work day.
Yeah, shout out to Mark, by the way, who's riding the train down to Bridgeport to cover the Providence Bruins. Mark Allard. I don't know if I'm saying his name right, but Mark is a great guy.
Mark Allred, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and obviously he's clearly brilliant because he likes my jokes. So
good stuff, man.
So
All right.
all right. Weekend ahead, real quick here before we get out of here. Avalanche, obviously stacked team. You know, got to be one of the favorites for the Cup. Gonna be tough. The altitude is always a factor. We made our predictions before the trip started. Do you think the Bruins come out of this one with points on Saturday?
No.
Another loss, eh?
I think they get smoked on Saturday.
You're going with smoke Saturday, okay.
Yeah. Sunday, I think they take them overtime, but they lose. So they get 1 point out of 3 games. This is a hard trip.
My prediction was 3. So, yeah,
Me too. I had said 3, but now I've changed that. This is a hard trip. I think last night was kind of a crushing loss. That was a game that was there for them to steal.
Yeah, leading early. Right. Yeah, exactly. A couple early leads. And like you said,
right, it's a learning experience, dude. That's the way I look at it. So,
yeah.
And we will be back on. Just a reminder, we're not on after the game Saturday. We're not on Sunday. We will be back on after the return of Brad Marchand and with the Florida Panthers on Tuesday night. That is going to be interesting. Brendan, do they boo him or they cheer him?
No. Standing O. Tear-filled standing O. And, you know, it's looking right now. They're struggling. That might actually be a winnable game for the Bruins Tuesday night at home if they bring it the whole night. You know, you can't have another start like you did, on Columbus Day against Tampa. But if they play 60 minutes, they could very well win. The Panthers are struggling at the moment.
You're forgetting one rule.
Oh, the first game after a long road trip at home.
Don't like it. And the fact that you just pointed out that Florida has been kind of struggling lately, they're going to want to finish their trip on a high note, and they're going to
go back home before that.
And here's the biggest reason why the Bruins aren't winning that game. Do you not think that they're putting money on the wall for Brad Marchand there to win that game for him? Come on. That's a huge game. Brad Marchand wants to come in and look up at Cam Neely and Don Sweeney and say, you know what? You should have believed in me.
Yeah, I think you could probably put Mashi down for a goal and 2 assists that night minimum.
Yeah. So we will be on to recap that game on Tuesday and then again the following Thursday when they welcome in the upstart Anaheim Ducks.
Interesting matchup. All right, buddy. Well, it was good to see you here. Recapping that late game. Like I said, I stayed up and endured it. Hey, you got to do what you got to do, right? Because this is the Sickest Bruins podcast. We're on the Sick Podcast Network, so we got to give our loyal listeners what they want. We appreciate everybody being here. I want to thank producer Shane. Jimmy, thank you. Go enjoy your weekend, buddy. I'm your guy, Brendan Sennott. This is Jimmy Murphy. We are Bruins Vibes on the Sick Podcast Network. We're out of here. Have a good one.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast Bruins Vibes on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.